Okay, good morning, students. If you haven't done so already, please be sure to put your name in the chat box for attendance. We're going to get started right now. Hope everyone is doing well. I noticed a lot of you got all of your work done already for the week. You guys are just overachievers. It's pretty amazing. So today we're going to go and we're going to try to go over the items that are on the agenda. We finished our notes on Monday, so today we'll be focusing on just like reviewing and making sure that we are ready for to move on to the next item for next week. Next week we'll be looking at integers again, but this time we're multiplying and dividing them, okay? So we're still working with integers with just multiplication and division for next week. Since we did addition and subtraction. So now is the time to really ask all of your questions about that. And yeah, I hope everybody is ready for class today. We're gonna hopefully clear a lot of things up today and hopefully make it enjoyable for you all. Take a look at the question that's on the PowerPoint as well. We will also be going over that soon. So take a look at that. And I just want to make sure that everybody is on the same page. So I'm just doing a couple checks real quick. Okay. All right. Also, while you guys are looking at that warm up that's there in the PowerPoint at the bottom, and thinking very hard about that, and we're working with much bigger numbers today. I do want to make sure that I go over with you all the new attendance policy one more time. It was mentioned in the town hall. I know that many of you made it to the town hall. Thank you for that. I hope that everybody who didn't will still got the same information. But anyway, do make sure you guys are answering the trivia question if you feel like you know the answer. There are trivia questions that are posted in the homeroom class. So you're going to look for homeroom and you're going to look for Miss K's name, Miss Koya, and that is where you would go ahead and enter your response there to that question if you feel like you know the answer, and that's great. And if you enter, and the first few people who do it correctly apparently will be entered to win a gift card, right? So you'll be entered into this gift card raffle and you guys will be awarded a gift card. It will be sent to you via mail. All right, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that attendance now, you guys will see that in your Schoology course, I've labeled the date and time when things really should be turned in. But remember that they need to be done on those days or you need to attend class. But at least as long as it's done on or before those days, you will get the attendance as marked. So everybody got attendance if you came on Monday and also attended the town hall. If you did not attend town hall but did work, you also got attendance then that way as well. For today, if you're here and you're listening to this live, you're getting attendance. And you just have to make sure you submit the work that's due today by 7 p.m. otherwise to get the work for the rest of today. Okay, you guys have two options for that work, and I will show you that really quickly. I just have to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. We will go over that. All right. So we're going to take a look at our Schoology page together because there is a couple of things I want us to be aware of. So give me a second. Let me change this share. Okay, maybe. Okay, so let's switch this share. Excuse me, resume this share. We're gonna get this shared. All right, finally. Okay, so this is your week 2 Schoology page. I'm just showing you all to make sure we all understand what's going on. Again, the dates and times are in there. So to make sure that you get credit for all of today, do make sure you try to submit either practice 2 or the exit ticket by 7 p.m. today if you haven't done so already. A lot of you already have. That's great. But practice number 2 or the exit ticket need to be submitted by 7 p.m. today to get your full credit for attending today's classes and doing today's work. Just wanted to show you all that your number lines handout is also available and ready for you too. If you want to use that, it's just a nice PDF that you can use if you are doing some of these negative number line work. You can use these negative number lines to help you better envision how the negative numbers work if you need to. When you're adding and subtracting, that's a good thing to kind of do there, okay? And so make sure, again, whenever you're doing your work, you want to start at the top. So you always want to do the discussion posts first. Then you want to move to your notes. There are handouts. There are usually going to be handouts every week too, just for additional summaries of the notes. You want to move on to your notes, then the 3 practices, and you want to end with your exit ticket. Always end with that. That should be the last thing you do for the week. All right. Okay. I think those are all of my announcements. Yes, those are all of my announcements. Woohoo! Okay, so now we can officially get started. All right, so I have this word problem here that is just filled with numbers. These really big numbers here. So I hope everybody is ready to take a look at this. So it says a company in the US lost $555,005 in their first year. In their second year, they had a profit of $1,255,500. And in their third year, they made a profit of $125,665. So the question is, what was their total profit or loss for the 3 years? So basically, I need you all to do it all together and tell me if they made an overall profit or an overall loss for those 3 years, and then what that number is. All right, so I got a response from Videra in the chat. Okay, 826,160. All right. Anybody else have an answer, or do they agree with Videra's answer? Is that correct? I think I saw another chat. Yeah, okay, Marvin agrees. Yeah, Ebony also agrees, okay. Yeah, so definitely, right? Yeah, this is definitely the correct answer here that Videra has posted in the chat. So if we have a loss, right? Because they lost this amount of money, this is essentially a negative number, right? This is negative. This is a negative number here. And the other two numbers are essentially positive numbers, right? These are both positive numbers. So what we can do is we can add the two positive numbers together. So I have 1,255,500, and I'm going to add the 125,665 to that, and I'm going to get this number here, 1,371,165. And then from that, I can subtract the 555. There's multiple ways to do this, of course, and you could choose to still end up with about the same answer here. Not with about, you will end up with the same answer if it's done correctly. Of course, I just did this very quickly, so it's very possible that I just messed up, but we'll see. Hopefully I didn't, but who knows? Okay, yep, I totally messed up. What did I do wrong? I didn't carry my 1 over here. This should be an 8. That's what I didn't do. Yeah, so that should have been an 8, and I didn't carry it correctly, and that's why. But yes, that is your correct answer. $826,160 was their total profit, right? They made a profit. They're in the blue, or in the black, really, but I wrote in blue, so we're going to call it in the blue. But yes, they made a profit over their 3 years, all right? When we're talking about losses and profits, those are also different ways that we were going to be using negative integers. I just want to make sure that I'm presenting as many different ways to use negative integers as possible, so you guys understand that it's not just, you know, this one-off thing that we only occasionally use. There will definitely be questions. You will be seeing questions in various places on those kinds of numbers. Okay, all right. All right, so I have another question that we're going to go over. I just need to get my cursor back. Okay, there's my cursor, finally. Okay. Mouse back. All right. So now we have 3 more examples here that we're going to look at. And I am going to, let's see, we have 8 people. So I'm going to separate you guys out just based on how you guys appear in the participant list. So it's going to be mostly alphabetical. All we're going to do is just assign you guys each a specific one to work on, so you guys aren't working on all 3 at the same time. So what I want you guys to do, we'll just do the first 2 people. So that's, for me, that's going to be Ebony and Lucretia. You guys are working on number 1. And that just means you guys can just focus on number 1. Marquisha and Marvin, you guys are going to work on number 2. And then everybody else will work on number 3. All right, so you guys work on each of those problems, and then I'm just gonna give you, a minute or so to work on it, and then we're gonna go over the answer. So don't shout your answer out or anything. Don't put it in the chat yet. I'm gonna do a countdown after a minute to make sure you guys have enough time to work on it, and then I want you guys to put it in the chat at the same time. So I want to see if you guys agree. Okay, so again, number 1 is Ebony and Lucretia. Number 2 is Marvin and Marquisha. And number 3 is everybody else. Okay, so that should be Patricia Videra. You guys are working on 3. All right, and I lost my mouse again. Ugh, so annoying. Yes. Yes, we'll have 4 people on number 3. That is correct. Okay. All right. About 30 more seconds. All right, so if you have your answer, you can put it in a chat box. Don't press enter yet. Just put it in a chat box, make sure it's ready. And then we're gonna do each one by itself. So those of you who are doing number 1, so that's Ebony and Lucretia, make sure your answer is in the chat box. And then press enter in 3, 2, 1. All right, enter. Let's see. All right, they got the same answer. They got 7,505. All right, and that is correct for number 1. All right, so number 2, you guys are gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna count you guys down in 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and put your answer in the chat box. What's your answer for number 2? Ooh, they have different answers. Okay, let's see. Let's see. So who do we agree with? Do we agree with Marvin or Marquisha? They're off, each of them they're just off by 1 number. So they're very close. All right, well, the answer is actually -3,255,956. So Marvin is actually correct. Very close, Marquisha, very, very close.
All right. You said the answer was what?
-3,255,956.
All they do is swim around. Guess what? Let me tell you,
off by 1.
What you mean, Mama told you you're her favorite? That's what she said.
I'm Lowe's.
Right. So yours, Marquisha. So you have this 1 here, right? And this 1 makes a difference when you add the 45. You're actually going to get a different answer. So let me show you. I can do it.
Put it back.
No. Nothing.
Hey. Yes, Grandma. Pass me the remote control. That's by you. Don't give me no lip. Just pass it to me.
All right. So
stand right here.
What's happening here with that
now put
1?
It back.
You have to be very careful with that 1. But
yes.
It's negative 300,000 plus
what are you 45, doing, child?
Right, so this 45
Grandma, I'm gonna eat some cereal.
is going to make a big difference
Why
here.
Why are you trying to open
because
a new
what you're really
cereal?
doing is it's
because,
not
Grandma,
100
those
minus 45.
I gotta get the
it's
new
101 minus 45. Really is what you're doing, right? So when you do 100 minus 45, you're going to get 55.
Mommy, can I have one of yours
minus
snacks?
45 gives you 56.
No. Here's your
And that's where you
Pop-Tart.
made
This is
your
what I
mistake.
brought for you.
It's not 55.
Ew,
It's
don't
56
nobody
in
eat
your answer.
Pop-Tarts
So
anymore.
the answer should be
You
negative
do.
2,225,050.
Hey, dork, why you looking so sad?
556.
Mommy won't give me one of her snacks. She said
That's
that
the
these
answer, not
Pop-Tarts was my
55. So
snacks,
we're
and
only
I
off
don't
by
even
one
like
just because of
Pop-Tarts.
the one at the end here in that number.
Ooh, I give you a Pop-Tart for one of your snacks.
We can always check it in our calculators as well. If you happen to have one, or if you have, you can use your phone, and that'll demonstrate to you also what this answer is here. But because we're working with larger numbers, sorry, 956. I put 556. It's 956, not 500, but yes, that's the idea. Oh, my goodness, this mouse keeps disappearing today. All right, let's try number 3. All right, you guys, 3, 2, 1. Put your answers in the chat for number 3. Those of you who worked on number 3. I should have 4 answers. Should have 4 answers for number 3. Okay, let's go back. Let's resume that share. Okay, let's see. Oh, we got different answers. All right, Renee has one answer. Videra and Toya have other answers. Let's see. Who do we agree with? All right, so one approach to this question is going to be to try to do right here, just kind of cancel out as much of these two first numbers as possible. So I have a positive 153 plus a negative 189, right? So according to my addition rules, I just subtract the smaller number from the bigger number. So I do 189 minus 153. Okay, that's going to give me 36. But then I keep my answer negative because the larger number is negative. So I have negative 36. So I have negative 36 plus a negative 876. So both of these numbers that are left are negative. So I'm just adding the numbers together. Okay, so I should just add these two numbers together. It's going to give me 8,082. But remember, they are both negative, so I keep it negative. So good job, Toya and Videra. You guys are on the right track with that. So Renee, I think you just missed that this first number here is actually positive, not negative, right? If it were negative, then you would add them all up together, but this first number is positive, not a negative number. All right. Okay. So hope that got your juices flowing. I hope you guys are feeling good, feeling ready. All right. So my first question before we go on, because we do have a couple other things to do today, of course. Do you all have any questions about the practices that I've posted on your Schoology? Any questions about practice 1 or 2 on your Schoology? I can also just pull them up so you guys can take a look at them. Make sure you guys don't have any questions. No questions? Everything is good? Everything is clear? Life is good? All right. I hope so.
Mine is I have a toddler over here that's for sale.
No one is trying to buy that toddler right now, Marquisha. Sorry. Ain't nobody trying to buy that toddler right. Everybody's like,
sorry, my daughter said Mommy, can we buy her?
Don't listen, you looking for the wrong person, don't not me. I can do when I nephew is fine, but nephew is fine. He's fine, but he just daddy. I don't want both. I know my mother. She don't want both talk right now. Nah, forget that.
This little girl is a mess. I don't know if I'm going or coming. I don't know if I'm listening to Mr. G or her tablet that she got going over there.
What was she doing now? Like a toy book or something like that?
Yes.
Okay,
her butt is a mess. And she think just watch. If you see me turn my computer, the screen off, that means she literally came over and climbed in the monitor, because that's what she does every so often. She thinks my class is hers.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense.
Well, I can see that.
You can't have any alone time. What are you talking about?
I see.
All right, so we're gonna do a little activity now, similar to what we did last week, Wednesday. We're gonna work through just a quick activity to see how we're doing with this integer math. So you guys are gonna be using your chat to respond, just so everybody has a chance to respond, and so no one knows exactly what the right answer is until we respond. So we're gonna go ahead and do this little activity that I prepared for us. We're going to, it's called the integer math hunt. And, all right, so if everybody's ready, we're just gonna test our adding and subtracting skills. You do have maybe a little bit of advanced activity in there as well. Some of them are word problems, some of them are straight integer math. It's gonna be great if you have a little sheet of paper maybe to do your addition and subtraction. Do not use calculators, right? These are not big numbers we're working with. These are small numbers, so don't use calculators. Try to use pen and paper if you have it and if you need it. All right, and it's not a race, but whenever you do have your answer, put it in the chat so I can know everybody's ready for me to reveal what the correct answer is, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and begin. All right, there's the first one. -9 plus -4 plus 5. Is our answer -8 or -9?
-9.
Okay, you think
plus
it's
-4.
Oh, -4, -9 plus -4 plus 5. What do you think the answer is? All right, let's see. Rodera has her answer in. She says it's -9. Okay. Marvin says -8. Lucretia says -8. Okay. Renee says -8. Okay. Evan says -8. I hear some Sean Kingston going on. I hear it. I hear it.
Or Jamaican music, I hope. Oh, that's music. Or either that was the music or that was I didn't know if that was the music or that was something else.
All right. So,
I'm not gonna say.
All right. So you guys, most of you already have your answer in. So let's see. Is it -9? Let's try it. No, it's not -9. So it is -8. Good work. For those of you who picked -8, if you were off by 1 on -9, it's okay. We're almost there. -9 plus -4 gives you -13, right? And then when you add 5, it gives you -8. Okay. All right, let's try this one. This is a word problem. You got to read this one. Make sure you move any of your windows that are in the way out of the way so you can see the question clearly.
You owe $25.
But you owe $25 to a friend. You have paid back $12, but have asked for another $8. How much money do you owe? Okay. Put it in the chat when you have your answer. Is it -20 or -21?
Oh, I know this. Maybe if you go back.
Okay, I see a lot of -21s so far. That's all I see. Okay. Everybody seems to agree so far that it's -21. All right. Okay. Okay.
One.
You owe 25, but you paid back 12, then you asked to hold another 8. How much do you owe now? All right. All right, so I think I see -21 from everybody. Nobody said -20, so let's see. -21 is the correct answer. Good work. Good work, everyone. All right. All right, this one has 3 possible responses. It's getting a little bit more difficult, possibly. So Jules had 6 fish, but 2 died, and he replaced them with another 3. How many fish does he have? Jules has 6 fish, but 2 died, and he replaced them with another 3. So how many fish does he have? 2, 4, or 7? Okay,
No,
so a lot of 7s.
No, but not even like 7 though. But then like 7. 7. Oh wait, they did that. Not 7. I mean 7. But usually 7. I mean.
So I see 7 from everybody. Right?
7.
Yes, I see only 7. So let's see. 7 is correct. All right. Okay. So Ebony has a cake with 8 slices. 3 were eaten and 2 were saved for later. How many slices are unaccounted for? Is it 3 or 4?
No, so if you say, let me save it. It's like keep that in mind.
Okay, I see a lot of 3s. Okay, only 3s. Okay, let's see. Is 3 the correct answer? 3 is the correct answer. All right, all right. All right, if I descended 5 feet, what does that mean? Is that a +5 or a -5? If I've descended 5 feet, is that +5 or -5?
Yeah. Jesus, I don't know what that means. -5. They all say -5. I'm all on top of it.
So descended 5 feet, is that +5 or -5? All right, so I see a few +5s, I see a few -5s. All right, let's see what it is. Let's see, is it +5? No, not that one. That's not the right answer. Descended is -5, right? If I descend, I am going down. So I represent that with a negative number. So that's -5. All right. Another word problem. Amanda earned $85 babysitting, then spent $42 on gas and $17 on dinner. How much does she have left? $59, $26, or $43? Let's see some 26s. She earned $85 babysitting, spent $42 on gas, $17 on dinner. Okay, I see a lot of 26s. Okay, see only 26s. All right, so let's see, 26 is the correct answer. Very good. Okay, So a submarine at 978 feet below sea level rose 532 feet. What is the position of the submarine? Is it at negative 446 feet below sea level, negative 1510 feet below sea level, or negative 150 feet below sea level? Where is this submarine? It's at 978 feet below sea level. So where is it? We started off there. Where does it end up?
Oh my God. Damn, and they say like, sorry, falling down to 446.
Somebody already changed their answer. Okay, all right. We got people changing their answer already. Okay, so let's see. I see a couple. Okay, and that person changed. Okay, got it. All right. So if I start off at negative 978 feet, because that's what it means when I'm below sea level, and then I rose 532, right? That makes a big difference. So I saw some people, yeah, the keyword is rose, absolutely. So one person did select a negative 1510, let's see. No, that's not the right answer, right? We can't add them together. We actually have to subtract, right? Or move forward a little bit. So it's now at negative 446.
Because you will be moving towards positive air.
Correct. I'm moving up. So I started off really low, but now I'm moving back up. So that's why they're at negative 446. Very good. All right. Okay. All right. So this one, try this one, guys. 2 plus negative 3 minus 12 plus 8. Is it positive 5 or negative 5? All right. Okay, so do you want to walk us through your thinking, Marquisha? What were you thinking? How did you get lost?
Because, normally with most math problems, whatever you see inside parentheses, that's what you're supposed to deal with first.
Okay, yep.
So
what's the difference here, though?
That's what I'm confused about.
Okay.
Because
so
I don't.
So the only difference here is that the only reason it's in parentheses is just to let you know that it's a negative number. So it doesn't mean you have to deal with it first. It's just letting you know that this number is negative. So I'm adding a negative 3.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
What you doing, Mommy? What you doing?
All right, let's see. I saw a lot of negative 5s from folks. That's the only thing I saw. I'm going to give Marquisha another minute so she can try it one more time and see if she has an answer for us, and then we'll do the answer. Okay, Renee says negative 5. Okay, Marquisha also says negative 5. All right, so yes, negative 5 is definitely the answer, right? So I have 2 plus negative 3. That gives me really just 2 minus 3, which is negative 1. Negative 1 minus another 12 gives me negative 13. Plus 8 gives me negative 5. Okay, so that is your correct answer. All right, let's keep going. Ooh, Did I just throw something else in here at you? I sure
You
did.
threw some multiplication in.
I did throw some multiplication in. So next week we're working on multiplication. Just give you a little hint of it right now. So can we do this problem with a little bit of multiplication? Is it 55 or 59? Okay, I see a lot of 55s. Okay. Oh, I see only 55s. All right. Okay. So we have 41 minus 30, which is going to give us 11. And then 11 times 5 is going to give you 55. All right. That's it. We did it, y'all. We did the hunt. Y'all were very successful. Good work. I think you guys are definitely getting more comfortable. There were a couple errors, but a lot of those errors were based on vocabulary, right? Which is something that we have to all work through. And it's something that we have to really learn and recognize is that a lot of these things are not about your math ability when you're doing these math tests. It's about recognizing the vocabulary, because sometimes when you rush through that vocabulary, it changes how you answer the question, right? So as we continue to do this and work through these things, we're going to encounter a lot of word problems so that we get that practice, so that we feel more and more comfortable doing these math problems with the vocabulary. All right. Okay. I want to go over just a couple of things with some of the practices that you guys have to do for this week. I just want to make sure that we are doing them correctly. So we're just going to do a couple example questions with them, and we should be good. All right. Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Wave, say hi.
Hi.
Oh, hi, pretty girl.
Say, how you doing?
How you doing?
How are you?
Mr. G said, how are you?
Hi, Jesus.
Hi, Mr. G.
Hi.
What's your name?
My Jesus.
That's not your name. That's his name. What's your name?
What's your name?
What's your name? Oh, I guess not. She's not going to tell us her name.
No,
She
she's
going to
gonna
tell us your name? Okay, get down.
I'm gonna
You
wait.
saw everybody?
I'm gonna say hi, but you don't know my name.
I'm gonna say that's
I told you she was coming.
yeah, I kind of see that going.
She has to have her secret still. She needs her secrets. Her name is not public information.
Yeah, not like we can't tell you.
All right. Actually, you know what? Let's do a couple more word problems. I have a few more word problems ready for you all. Let's do these first, and then before we go look at these other things. All right. I have 3 word problems here. And we're going to do all of them together, and we're just going to use the chat again to like put your answer in, just to see if we're all understanding it. All right. So Sarah was cliff jumping. So she was on a cliff 25 feet above sea level. She jumped into the sea and descended a total of 37 feet. How many feet below sea level did she travel? So we started up 25 feet above sea level. She ended up 37 feet below sea level. How many feet below sea level did she travel? Okay, see a lot of negative 12s so far, right? So what you guys are saying to me then is that if she started off at 25, right, a positive 25, and you subtract 37, you should get negative 12, right? That's what we're saying? Okay.
Sir.
I like it. Okay, I like it. Good. All right, let's try the second one. The temperature on Wednesday evening was negative 5 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature decreased another 8 degrees throughout the night. What was the temperature on Thursday morning? Okay. All right. I see a lot of, oh, I see a 13. See, okay, negative 13, got you. Equals 13, negative 13. Okay, good. All right, so you're saying to me that negative 5, right? Because that's where we started. And then I decreased another 8 degrees. That means if I'm decreasing, it's a subtraction, right? It's minus another 8. So it should be negative 13. Okay, perfect. All right, and now Tony. Tony had negative $15 in his bank account. So he had nothing, really. He deposited $45 into his bank account. How much money does he now have in his account? All right, okay. Poor Tony, started off at negative 15. That's not a good way to start. All right, so Tony is starting off at negative 15, right? And then he is adding 45, right? According to our addition rules, we can just subtract, and we will say 45 minus 15 is gonna give us 30, and that's gonna be our answer because the bigger number is positive, right? So he has $30 in his bank account. Okay. Sometimes I think it's easier to work through the word problems than it is to do these problems without words. I think that's where we get lost. When we have these word problems, we get to associate it better with real things. We're like, oh, I mean, if he has a negative bank account and he adds 45, obviously he has $30, right? Like, that's really easy. But if I wrote that to you and I was like, what's 15, what's negative 15 plus 45? We're gonna sit there a little while longer. You'd be like, wait, it's, hold on, wait. Right, you have to really think about it. But for whatever reason, when we get the words, we can think through it a little bit easier. So I'm glad that we're able to do that. Okay. All right, one last thing for us today is to just make sure we're all on the same page with our assignments. So I have our assignments here. I already pulled them up. This is the first practice. The first practice is using your number lines, right? So the idea is to start where it tells you to start and then follow it. So I'm going to do just a couple to make sure we're all doing it already. I know that we have.
Is this on Schoology?
It's not Schoology. It's practice number 1 for Schoology.
Yeah, but this is the one I'm doing.
Let me log on. Hold on.
Yeah, by the way, this is one I did right now. I did basically just did it right now. I just trying to did it right now.
If you did it, that's awesome. That's great. Yeah, some of you already did it. I think 3 of you had already submitted. You guys were working late last night. Somebody submitted work at like midnight. I don't know why y'all were up that late. I mean, I'm up that late, but y'all should not be up that late. I went to bed at like 2 o'clock last night because I'm a terrible sleeper, but y'all should not be up that late. Sleep, go to sleep. All right, so when you use your number line to do this math, right, you start off where it says to start. So if I'm on number 4, it says to start with 4, so I'm gonna start at 4 on my number line. And then it says to add a negative 5. Well, if I'm adding a negative 5, I could pretty much ignore this plus sign and then just subtract. If I subtract, that means I have to go to the left by 5. So I'm going to go to the left by 5. I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so that means my answer is -1. And I apologize for all the construction noise in the back. I'm not sure what is happening, but Suddenly my street, which is normally very quiet, there's been construction on the street in the front, and it was reverberating throughout the entire house on Monday, and now it's in the back. Now they're in the back alley because they have nothing better to do than to harass me, apparently. That's just their goal for today. All right, so my answer for number 1 is -1, okay? And we'll try number 2, and we're gonna do the same steps. So the idea is that you start where it tells you to start. So I'm gonna start at -7, and then I'm gonna follow the directions that it tells me to do. So it says plus. If it's plus, that means I now have to go to the right. How many times am I going to the right? By 2. So 1, 2. That means my answer is -5. All right, so that's all you're doing for that first practice. Really
Mr. G, what
straightforward.
handout did you click on? I apologize.
This is practice number 1.
Adding and subtracting integers.
Yep.
All right, I just want to make sure I'm getting the right one.
No, that's totally fine. Love it. Okay. Yeah, so this is really just an instruction to show you guys why you should be using these number lines to help you as you're processing if you need the help. The number lines are very helpful. And again, there is a number line handout, so you can also use that as well. It's only with the negative numbers, but I think it'll still be helpful. All right, so I did the first 2 examples. What's gonna be my answer to number 3? Somebody who can do it. If it's -3 plus -4, what's that answer gonna be?
-8.
No, with -7, did you? No,
Okay.
I
All
meant,
right,
yeah.
let's
Thank
see.
you, Marvin.
You're
That's
welcome.
true. Okay, so -3, and then it says plus -4, right? Again, I can ignore that plus sign and just go to the left by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is in fact -7. Okay. I'm doing your homework for you. What? This is crazy. All right, so then I think there are just a total of 10 of these problems. So I think there are 7 more for you guys to do. So just keep working through it and you'll do that. But Ebony, do you see where you went wrong on that one? Do you understand why it's -7, not 1? Or do you?
Yeah, I'm over here secretly multitasking. Forgive me, I wasn't.
No, you're totally fine. It's all good. It's all good. We're all doing it. We're all doing it, right? Marquisha has her toddler. You know, other people have things going on. There's a lot. There's a lot happening. But okay. Any questions or anything else I can clear up about this practice? And we'll look at the second practice now. All right, let's do this second practice then. All right, so then practice number 2, which is right under practice number 1, is going to be
I
this.
so hate this computer.
Oh no, what happened?
Cause I don't have a pencil to write with.
Yes, that is the harder part. That is the harder part without a pencil. Yeah, I don't know. We gotta maybe try to get a donation from a wealthy benefactor. Maybe they can provide pens to all the students as long as we're in this distance learning, because that would be great. I think if you guys had pens, life would be a lot easier, especially doing this math. It's much easier with a pen. Okay, so these are bigger numbers that we're working with here, but it's going to be the same idea and process. Notice the number line has gone away. So that means our processing has to really change, and we have to really be focused on how we're processing these. So we just got to be a little bit more careful, but we're going to do a couple of these together as well, just to see and make sure we know how to do it. All right, so this first one says I'm starting with -47 and I'm subtracting 43. So for me, this means what? This means that I can just switch this sign from a negative to a positive, right? From a minus to a plus, and switch the positive 43 to a negative 43. And the reason I want to do that is just so I can follow my addition rules. My addition rules tell me that if I have two negative numbers, all I have to do is add them together and keep my answer negative, okay? So that's why you would switch it, just so you can follow your addition rules. If you're keeping your addition rules in your head, your addition rules tell you that if they have the same sign, just add them together and keep the sign, okay? So I'm just gonna add 47
Negative 90?
to 43, perfect. And that's gonna give you negative 90. And I can also line it up for those of you who need it. When I line it up, you're gonna see that it's 90, okay? All right, so number 2 is identical to number 1. So I'm gonna skip it because I want you guys to kind of work on it. We will come back and you guys can give me the answer later. But let's go to number 3 because it's different. It's not the same exact setup as number 1. We have 44 plus a negative 40, okay? So I have different signs. So according to my addition rule.
Am I dropping the addition sign and making it a subtraction?
So in this case, you just want to follow your addition rules because we no longer have the number line to work with, right? So it's not as straightforward. So just follow your addition rules, which tells you that if they have opposite signs, subtract the smaller number from the bigger number and keep the sign of the bigger number. So the bigger number is positive. That means my answer is going to be positive. And I have to just 44 minus 40. And that's going to give me
positive 4.
4. So my answer is 4. Okay. So it's always a good idea to keep your rules in mind. Remember, we have our rules on Monday, and those videos have been posted, so you can always review them at your leisure. All right. I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna have you guys do a couple to show me that you guys are understanding it. All right. So number 5 has negative 34 minus negative 33. Again, I'm supposed to change the sign whenever it's a negative to a plus sign. And then whatever the sign is of the number after it, also change that sign. So it should be negative 34 plus 33. So now I follow my addition rules for different signs, which means I subtract the smaller number from the bigger number and keep the sign of the bigger number. So I know that my answer will be negative. And I just do 34 minus 33. That's going to give me 1. So my answer is negative 1. All right. So in the chat, take your time, but in the chat, put your answers for number 2. What do you think the answer for number 2 is? Again, number 2 follows the exact same setup as number 1. So if you need to follow those steps, do that, and then put your answers for number 2 in the chat. Don't wait for everybody else's answers either. Put what you think the answer is. Okay. And if you're done with 2 already, work on 4. Don't put your answer in for 4 yet, but just work on it. We're looking for answers for number 2 right now, just for number 2. Okay, so we have a lot of answers in and everybody seems to agree.
Why am I not able to put my answer down?
What happened? What'd you do?
I don't know. That's why I had to unmute myself because I've been trying. Trying to put.
What's your answer?
My answer is negative 63.
Okay, let's see if it's right. So again, we're going to switch this to a plus and then switch the sign of this 26 to negative. So negative 37 plus and negative 26. That means I just get to add these two numbers together. 37 and 26 is going to give me 63, and I keep my sign. So my answer is negative 63. Good work. I'm very happy that you guys are doing well. All right, so now let's also try number 4. Number 4 follows the same setup as number 3. All right, it's going to be the exact same setup as number 3. So what is your answer for number 4? Whenever you're ready, put your answers in the chat for number 4 as well.
I got positive 3.
Okay, good, good. I see a lot of 3s. Okay, so this one follows our opposite sign rules, right? When they're opposite signs, you just subtract and then keep the sign of the bigger number. So actually your answer should be 3. It should be positive 3. Good work. All right. Okay, y'all, so the rest of the time is yours. So either use it to complete your work so that you can submit your work today, or use it to ask me questions. I'm here, so it's up to you guys.
I think I'm gonna finish my work because if I log on, these kids gonna run me through this house. So I might as well just do it now.
Yeah,
I might have to try and do that, and he has to take it too, because I had to leave at 2:30 just to go for the housing. That's just for the housing part, though.
that's perfect. Yeah, so if you guys need it, use your time wisely. Ask me questions. I'm here.
Okay.
If you guys are good, if your work is done, if you already submitted it, I know some of you already did, feel free to sign off and log off, and I will see you next week, Monday, for more math. Or if you have me for science, I'll see you on Friday for science.
Well, I have you for science, so I can.
Great. So yeah, so that's it. So I'm done. I'm gonna be here though. I'm not going anywhere. If you need me, I'm here. But if you need to log off, have a great day. Go ahead and log off. All right. I'm gonna stop the recording.
Okay.